Hi, everybody. Welcome to our live masterclass. I am so excited to be here with you and we're just really looking forward to sharing my Success Made Simple framework. So as you are joining us, please pop in the chat box your name and where you are joining us from. I would love to know where all of you guys are in the world. And I just think it's really cool that we have a community here with women from all around the planet. And I also realized that this masterclass is landing on International Women's Day. And so I just think it's really cool that we have so many women who have been participating in the masterclasses this week. I just checked the numbers and we had 1,253 women participating in the masterclasses from all over the world. And so what a cool way to kind of culminate the 3-day work week masterclasses, but to come together from all walks of life, from all over the planet, and spend this time together. And I just think it's really cool. So please share in the chat box where you're from. And let's see. Emily is here from Florida. Hey, Emily, so glad you're joining us. Carol from New Jersey. I'm in Pennsylvania. I don't know if you guys know that. I'm in Eastern Pennsylvania, about an hour north of Philadelphia. And I grew up in New Jersey, Carol. So I'm very familiar. I'm about 10 minutes from New Jersey now. I'm right on the border. Yeah, so as you guys are joining us, please share in the chat box your name, where you are joining us from. I'd love to know. I also want to give you some tips just so you can get the absolute most out of the masterclass today. It would be really helpful if you could find a distraction-free zone. I know that can be challenging if you got little kids at home or, just a busy household, but if you can be in a place that will remain relatively quiet, if you can shut a door behind you like I have done, that's really useful. Also, just eliminating those technological distractions could be really useful, silencing your phone, closing down other browsers, just that sort of stuff would be really useful because I'm going to be giving you a lot of really good information on this class. And I know that to get the most out of it, would be useful to have your presence and your attention here with us now. Also, like I said, there's going to be a lot of new information coming at you. So please, if you're a note taker, get yourself ready before the class gets rolling. There was a worksheet included in the email that gave you the link to the class, and you can download that worksheet. Make sure you download and save it so that you can fill it in. If you just start typing into it, it won't necessarily save. So make sure you download and save that. And that gives you kind of an outline of the class today. Or of course, if you prefer to take notes in your favorite journal or in your in Google Drive. I love typing into Google Docs. Something like that could be useful. Let's see. We have Louise from Illinois. Courtney is here from NYC. Hey, ladies, it is so cool having you guys join us. I'm so glad that you're able to attend live. There's some really cool stuff waiting for you. For those of you who are watching live, we're going to be diving in shortly. We're almost at 11 o'clock here. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to mention to you guys. Let's see, there's going to be a Q&A at the end of the class. So if you have any questions during the class, just pop them into the chat box and I'll address them at the end so that, if you think of something, I don't want you to lose it. So either type it into the chat box or type it or write it down. And then at the end, when we open up Q&A, you can share it in the chat box then. So just know there will be a time for conversation and to get your questions answered. If anything I'm sharing about the Success Made Simple framework is stirring something within you and you need some clarification, or if you want to know how to apply it specifically to your business or anything like that, I'm happy to dive into more detail during the Q&A at the end. So if you are just joining us, welcome. Please share your name and your location in the chat box. I'd love to know where you're joining us from today. On our last live class, we had about 150 attendees, which is really cool. And hopefully we'll even beat that today, more ladies turning up live. And I was also saying, and if you're just joining us, that this past week during the 3-day workweek masterclasses, we had 1,253 women participating. I just think that is really cool. Thinking about every single individual woman who raised her hand and said, hey, I want to show up for this. I want to step into my best life. I want to figure out how I can create success on my terms, working less, making more, and living better. I just think it's really cool that all of you are open to the idea that we don't have to hustle. We don't have to work so hard. We don't have to sacrifice ourselves, time with our kids, all those things that are important to us. We don't have to sacrifice on our journey to success. And so I really hope that the master classes this past week and the master class today that you're here now attending live serve you in that journey of creating that abundant business that you're dreaming of and doing it in a way that feels really good and authentic to you. So one more reminder, if you're just joining us live now, some best practices for the masterclass today. Make sure you're in a distraction-free zone. Close a door if you can. Be somewhere where you won't be disturbed. If you have other browsers up, especially like Facebook or email, just close those down. There's going to be so much great stuff for you guys here on the class today. And I think having your full attention will really, really serve you well. So just close those down. Give me the next hour, and I guarantee you are going to leave with some amazing takeaways that are going to really shift your business and your life. Honestly, it's really cool stuff that we'll be talking about. Grab a pen and paper, grab your favorite journal, open up a Google Doc so you can take notes. There was also a worksheet if you like working on the worksheet so you can follow along with the class. There was a worksheet included in the email that announced this class to you. So just pop over there for a second, download it, save it, and then you can fill that right in and follow along with the lesson today. Alrighty, so we'll just head over here, see if we have some more ladies joining us. Oh, great. We have ladies from London. We have Pamela joining us. Oh, wonderful. Oh, we've got such a great turnout. Yeah, Pamela from Iowa. Okay. Claire from Lisbon, Portugal. Rebecca from Kansas. Awesome. Oh, it's so exciting. So exciting to have you ladies here with me. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be here. All right. Well, I am not going to delay any further. I think it's time to dive into the masterclass, join together for this content. And I'm going to be doing a screen share during the presentation so that for me, it's just helpful as a viewer of a masterclass to see visuals sometimes. So I've created some slides for you guys. I'll probably pop back on camera at the end, but for the meantime, I'll switch to the screen share so you guys can follow along with the presentation. Let's see, I'll just get this going. All right, you should be able to see my screen now. Make sure it's all formatted right for you. Okay, and we will get rolling here just in 1 second. Okay, so welcome, welcome. I am so excited to be here with each and every one of you today. We are going to have a fantastic class. I am super excited to share my Success Made Simple framework with all of you. This is something that I have personally used to grow my own business, working my 3-day work week, which is usually 15 to 20 hours of time, and growing a 6-figure business. This is also the framework that I teach to all of my one-on-one clients so that they can set themselves up for working less, making more, and living better. So I am really delighted that you are here joining me now so that I can share it with you. This is the first time I am publicly unveiling it. It's a very special occasion. And I mentioned earlier that it is International Women's Day. And I think it's just so awesome that we're able to be here together on this day, celebrating women together as a group of women, moving into this content together. And really, in doing that, claiming for ourselves that we can create success on our terms, standing in our truth that what we desire is possible and is happening for us. And I'm so excited. Alrighty, so If you've just joined us for these last few master classes, and maybe you're a little bit newer, maybe you didn't see my first presentation this week, I want to give you a little bit of background about me so that you have some context about who you're learning from today. And also, I want to let you know that there's going to be some amazing on the call bonuses and some perks for you guys who are attending live right now. And I know they're really going to serve you. So I'll be announcing those in just a little bit. So hang tight. I'm going to move through the presentation first, and then I'll share those really cool bonuses that you can grab sort of as a culmination to our awesome week together. Also, there's going to be some time for Q&A at the end. So feel free to pop your questions into the chat box right below the video as we go, and then we'll address those at the end of the call. Alrighty, so let's get rolling. So I am Cailen Ascher. Hopefully, most of you had the opportunity to take class with me earlier this week, but if you're new and you're just joining us now, welcome. I am a mom of two cutie pie little girls. I'm a wife, and I'm a business coach and the founder of Success Made Simple. Success Made Simple is a really revolutionary framework that transforms under-earning entrepreneurs into abundant business owners with part-time hours. And as you probably know, because it's probably what I'm best known for, I have a 3-day work week. For me, lifestyle is priority number one. I am a mom, I'm a wife, and I really want to have time with my family, not just on the weekends, but throughout the entire week, so that every day has that time with the people that I love. I want to be able to have play dates on Mondays, with my girls and take them to swim class on Friday. I have to say, I don't normally work on Fridays. If you guys are wondering, like, hey, this is a Friday, why is she working? This is a very special occasion because I'm here teaching this master class, and my husband very nicely took the girls to swim class. So I have a quiet house to host this master class in. So that's the kind of thing I love. I love being able to have that flexibility and to design my life and my business my way. And my ultimate mission, and I'm working my way there, girls. My ultimate mission is to inspire 1 million women to create success on their terms. I am over the moon in love with the work I do. I hope you were able to sense that this past week in the master classes. This week was just such fun for me, and I sensed from your comments, from your posts, from your feedback that it was a really moving and transformational and fun week for you as well. So I'm so delighted about that. I really love having the time and the freedom to create a schedule that works for me, my life, and my family. I love date nights with my husbands. I love going away for long weekends. We always try to take at least 2, usually 3 family vacations a year. And I love taking lots of time off around the holidays. This past year, I took 3 weeks off between Christmas. Well, not between Christmas and New Year's. I took that week off, but I took a week off before Christmas and a week off after New Year's as well, so that I could just be in that fun holiday mode. And this is the kind of stuff you ladies can do too. This is the sort of thing that is possible when you follow the Success Made Simple framework, when you set yourself up for success on your terms. This is the kind of stuff you can have. So all of these reasons and more are why I am so excited about what I am sharing with you today. I really am, for so long, I was struggling in my business for about 7 years, honestly. I was pushing myself, working, hustling, doing those, putting in my time, as we say, and I was making very little money, part-time income, if that, sometimes no money at all. And it wasn't until I became a mom when I had my first daughter, and I decided that that wasn't going to work for me. And honestly, I debated whether or not I was going to go back to my business at all. But then I realized in order to really feel like I was being my best me and being the best person I could be, best role model I could be for my daughter, I had to give it a go. I had to follow my heart's calling and just try to create that business I had been dreaming about. And so I cut back my hours to 3 days a week, and this really remarkable thing happened. It forced me to shift my business model. And within a few months, I was making double or triple what I was previously making in a month, working part-time hours. And now, being, I guess it's 4 years into my 3 day work week, I've really seen what that process is that I kind of stumbled upon in those early days of my 3 day work week. And I've systematized it, I've clarified it, and I put it together in a way that I hope will really, really serve you. And that is what we're going to dive into today. The Success Made Simple framework that I'm going to be sharing has enabled me to work less than 20 hours a week for the last 4 years. In 2016, I had my first six-figure year. Then in 2017, I had my second daughter, and I took 4 months off after her birth, and I still increased my income by 15%. Then last year, I cut back my hours even more. Generally, now I'm working about 15 hours a week, and I increased my revenue by 50% last year in 2018. And this year, I am on track to double, possibly even triple my revenue. So it's such a misconception that the amount of time that we work is what dictates the amount of income, the amount of money that we can receive. And I hope the Success Made Simple framework that I'm sharing you today helps you really reprogram your mindset so that you too can work the hours that feel good and appropriate for you and your life and your family and your business and all of that stuff, and not feel like there's a cap on your income, that your income is still unlimited. Okay, so with that said, with some context around why we're here and who I am super excited to dive into the Success Made Simple framework with you today. So when I say the word success, what comes to mind? And I would love for you to put it in the chat box. What other words come to mind when I say success? What does it mean to you? Let's see, I'll give you guys a minute to think and respond. But as something lands for you, just that first impulse, when I say success, what does it mean to you? What does it call forward in you? And just pop it in the chat box right below the video. Some of the things I generally hear from my clients, from my community, is that success feels hard. It feels like hustle. It feels like achievement or striving. It feels like something you have to be worthy of, that you have to prove yourself. Then there's also those positive aspects, right? Like being fortunate or abundant. Sometimes it might feel a little tricky or elusive. Cool. Yeah, we've got that success feels like the freedom to organize time. Feels like abundance, accomplished, being free from the stress. Yeah, that freeing yourself, relieved, settled, living life without worry. Yeah, great. It's so important for us to dig into and realize what we're tying into success, because whether it's positive or negative, there's a lot of emotion wrapped up in that one little word, success, and it means something different to each and every one of us. And so the first step in this journey is figuring out what success means to you and why it's important and what the flavor is for you and you alone. Because it doesn't matter what I think success is or what your girlfriend does or your husband. Honestly, it's just you and what notes it has to sing in your heart. So I think it's really fun before we dive into the Success Made Simple framework to just realize like what that word even means to you. Something that I've realized is that once we kind of explore what success means, someone wrote the steady life rhythms. Ooh, that's so beautiful. Um, Once we think about this is what success is, and this is so beautiful and glowy and perfect, then often there's this kind of repercussion, this kind of ripple out effect that then we start feeling, oh my gosh, but how is this going to happen for me? How is this going to play out? Success feels amazing, but how am I going to get there? And we start questioning what it's going to take to get us there and who we have to be and what we have to do. And one of those reasons why, once we think of all these amazing things that we love about success, that suddenly these negative emotions and words start coming through, is because we've been raised in a culture with countless storylines that feed into a false belief of what it takes to be successful. Yes, success in and of itself might feel abundant, it might feel aligned, it might feel accomplished. But when we think about what we have to do to get there, often we start feeling a little off, a little uncomfortable. We feel like we have to hustle. We feel like we've got to put in our time. We've got to work 24/7. We've got to sacrifice. There's all this stuff that starts coming up. And so I would love for you now to just take a moment to think about what you have learned or witnessed or gleaned from your parents, from your peers, from your teachers, from other family members, from the culture you were raised in, from the news, from the media about what it takes to be successful. And I'd love to know if any of you hearing this are feeling like, yes, you have some storylines that are tied up in what it takes to be successful that you are ready to drop. Just put a yes in the chat box if you're like ready to drop those storylines about what it takes to be successful. I saw somebody ask about, will there be a replay? Yes, there will be a replay of this. So if someone had an urgent family matter come up, yes, there'll be a replay. Yes, Kelly is ready to drop the storylines. Luminous Life, ready to drop the storylines. Carol, yes. Awesome. Smile for Joy. Ooh, that's a fun name. Pamela, yes. Awesome. So many yeses coming through. We deserve to drop the storylines, right? In order to live our best lives and build our best businesses, we have to drop the storylines. I had this aha moment a while back. I 100% believe that I can create my life in any way that I desire and that I have ultimate control over the design of my life. Yet, for the first 7 years of my business, I totally believed that I had to push myself and work harder, longer, faster than everybody else, or I would never be successful. Then this interesting thing hit me. If I think I can create any life and any business that I desire, why can't I also create it in the way that I desire to create it? Free of hustle, free of overwhelm, free of rushing. This realization really just hit me like a ton of bricks. If I wanted to create success on my terms, I had to start layering that in from the get-go. I couldn't get to the land of joyful abundance by being stressed out, worried, hurried, rushed, and constantly feeling like I wasn't good enough. I realized when this came to me that I had to give myself total permission to fully embrace my 3-day work week and to not limit my income potential in the process. This awareness in and of itself is transformational. So I would love for you now just to sit with that for a moment about if you believe that you can create any business that you desire, do you also believe that you can create the success you desire in any fashion that feels good for you? That you can work a handful of feel-good hours a week and still be an abundant business owner? And so just do a gut check there. Um, this is a journey, guys. And so if you're realizing, oh my gosh, I've got to work on this, you are in the right space to do it. You are here now. You've shown up for this class. You're already doing it. So don't give yourself a hard time. Don't layer on. Just recognize, like, hey, this is something I'm so ready to let go of. And today I am so excited to share my signature framework for Success Made Simple so that you guys can also, just like I have done, create the success you desire in the way that you desire to create it for you, your life, and your business. Okay. So let's dive into, what does success made simple mean? So to me, it means creating success in the easiest, most aligned, and enjoyable way possible. It means creating success on your terms in a way that makes sense for you, your life, your family, and your business. It means reflecting on your dreams and desires and mapping out a feel good focused plan to make those dreams and desires a reality. And it means having an abundance of time, money, and energy for the people and the things that you love and enjoy the most. So if you are ready for that, I am so ready to give you a glimpse at what Success Made Simple looks like for me before we dive into the framework. Okay, so hopefully all you guys can see this. This is the before and after of my work life, of my business. So the before is when I was working full-time hours, making very little money. And the after is after I switched to my 3-day work week and embraced the Success Made Simple approach to business. So before, 7 years of serial entrepreneurship, meaning I kept jumping from business to business, hoping that my business would solve my problem of not making enough money, instead of realizing there was some internal work that had to be done and a framework in which I needed to build my business instead of jumping from shiny object to shiny object. Before, I was always questioning myself and my abilities. Achieving success felt hard, it felt elusive and really confusing. I was frustrated. I was an under earner, which just felt awful, working all those hours and not making enough money to really contribute in a way that would have felt good. I was working a lot, but seeing very few results. I was always wondering, always, I remember this very well, always wondering when things would take off. Like, hey, when's it going to be my turn? When's it my turn to like show up and make a difference? When is my like overnight success story going to happen? I remember feeling like a failure, ready to give up. I remember one month after being in business for like 6 years, I made just $22.50 in July and this was the year before my business took off. And, I always was tracking my expenses. I was always really organized with my bookkeeping. And it was just like, I don't even know what the heck I could have sold that was only $22.50. Like it's almost ridiculous. But yes, I looked back in the books and that was a particularly low month. I remember feeling behind, left out, and like I was missing something that other successful entrepreneurs had figured out. And like I said, I was working at this point full-time hours and making a part-time income. Then after switching to my 3-day work week and living the Success Made Simple framework, I felt like, and finally started acting like and looking like, in terms of numbers and things, an abundant business owner. I had a clear, simple plan. Simple is lovely, of inspired action. I started having multiple 5-figure launches. I had a $32,000 launch, followed by, I think it was a $56,000 launch. And those were in like within a year of switching to my 3-day work week. Success on my terms now feels natural, easy, and simple. I have 5-figure months every month. I still have my 3-day work week. I've been featured in top publications like Business Insider and Huffington Post. I've been on lots of cool podcasts like She Means Business with Carrie Green and Entrepreneur on Fire and lots of others. I have a wait list of clients who want to work with me. I have a 6-figure business. That's a really profound milestone. I know a lot of you are wanting to align yourselves with, and this framework can help you get there. And as I shared earlier, using the Success Made Simple framework, I increased my revenue by 15% in 2017, even with taking 4 months off for maternity leave. And last year, I increased my revenue by 50% while cutting back my hours even further. And now success feels simple. It's been made simple, and I have an abundant full-time income working part-time hours. And all this and more is possible for you with the Success Made Simple framework. And if there's elements of this that you're like, that doesn't feel like what I want, that doesn't feel like what success means to me, total permission for that too. This is about what you want. This is, this chart here is what I was desiring. It's the before and after of my life. I want you to create the before and after of yours. Okay, so here's a little look at the Success Made Simple framework, and then we're going to dive in depth into each one of these steps. So, Success Made Simple framework is literally 5 steps to success. And I'm going to show you how to create success on your terms in the most aligned, most enjoyable, simplest way possible. So get ready. As you can see, we've got 5 pieces here we're going to be diving into. So if you are following along with your worksheet, this is the time to pull it out. The worksheet has space for each one of these 5, so you can write in the title, and then we'll dive into the notes below. So the 5 pieces that we're going to be looking at are purpose, priorities, people, packages, and plan. And so sit tight, buckle up. We're getting into it now, ladies. Purpose. Okay. So excited to be diving into this. So the first essential piece of the Success Made Simple framework is landing on your purpose. First, you need to define that, and from that place, all else is created. And so I want you to think about, as you consider this, as you kind of start to get a taste of what this means to you, think about, what is your vision for yourself, your life, your family, your business? What is your big dream? What is that thing you've been thinking about that is looming out there for you? Consider, what are your unique talents? How can you serve the world better or differently than anyone else out there? And I know you have a unique blend that sets you apart from everyone else. Consider, what expertise do you hold? Think about, what impact do you want to make? What is that legacy that you want to leave? Think about, what desires do you have for yourself, your life, your business? Ask yourself, what is your why? Why are you going to be showing up for this work? We really need to land on our why, because it's not always going to be easy. It can be simple, but it's not always going to be easy. And you need to have a deep-seated purpose to keep you going. I remember I was driving back from a doctor's appointment when I was pregnant with my first daughter. And so this is before my 3-day work week. This is before my business took off. And I guess I had just, launched a course or done something, and it hadn't gone as I had wanted. I didn't make, the income that I was hoping for, and I was feeling like a failure. And I'm driving home, and all of a sudden, kind of ruminating in my mind about all the things I could have done differently, and just not feeling good and beating myself up about it. And all of a sudden, this breath of fresh air came into my lungs. And I felt this ease come over my body. And I realized that I had a purpose that was so much deeper than this little momentary blip of what seemed like failure. That not everything I did had to be a success in order for me to be a success. And that I, in that moment, knew I was going to keep showing up no matter what. Because if I kept showing up, I knew that the momentum, little incremental, bit by incremental bit, would increase. And someday I would be making an impact. Someday I would be running a series of master classes that over 1,200 women were attending, which is just, it's such an amazing thing. It honestly brings tears to my eyes. And so for you, I want you to, sorry, I got a little choked up here, guys. I want you to land on that why, that when you feel like giving up, that instead you take a deep breath and you show up again. Because I would not be here with you ladies right now if I had given up. And I don't want you to either. So, your action step, as I gather myself here, good thing I'm not on camera, guys. The action step I would love for you to take is to create a mission statement that inspires you to the depths of your being. And that when you read it, you feel lit up like the amazing light that you are. And I want you to keep that with you, like up in your office, put it as your background on your computer, on your phone, read it on a daily basis. I want that to be the driving force for you. Because if we're in it for the money, if we're in it for a quick win, if we're in it for the fame, the notoriety, whatever it is, that all fizzles. And it's all not as glamorous as it looks anyway. But if you are in it because of your purpose on this planet, you're in it to win it. So just let that land for you. Trust that whatever little nugget you gleaned was what you were meant to hear. I should have said that at the top of the call, right? Like, I'm going to be sharing a lot with you guys here. Just trust that what's meant for you will arrive and land for you. And that if for whatever reason it's not landing, it's just not meant for you at this moment. So just take what you need, leave the rest. Okay. Number 1, purpose. Number 2, priorities. This is something that I see too many entrepreneurs ignoring. They get that inkling of an idea. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is what I want to be doing. And then they jump, 5 steps ahead and want to make a plan. Like, how can I make this happen now? They never stop to consider how to align this with their lifestyle, with their priorities, with their responsibilities. So you need to consider your priorities. As you're doing this, I want you to think about your values. What are your values, like your core intrinsic values? And I'm sure this is closely aligned to your purpose that we just covered, right? And so for me, some of my values are time, like the freedom of time. I want to be able to do with my time what I choose to do with it. I don't want to be have somebody else dictating that I need to sit in a chair at a desk in a cubicle for 9 hours, 5 days a week. My time, your time is too precious for that. Time is a huge value of mine. Family. I want to be present with my family. I want to have time with my family, with my husband, with my girls. That is so, so important to me. And so I have intentionally designed my business in a way where I right now have 4-day weekends. And Friday through Monday, I am a full-time mom. And Yeah, thanks to the conveniences of, technology these days, I'm able to pop on my phone and check emails and while the girls are napping, touch base with people. But I can do that from home, from, during their nap times and be there with them in between. Consider as you think about your priorities, what lifestyle do you want? What do you want? This is yours for the creating. This is yours for the making. Don't be shy. Total permission here to dream big and unapologetically. Write down what you want, what makes sense for you. And don't worry if it looks very different than what's going on now for you. And don't worry if it doesn't look like what's going on for anybody else. This is about you and your life and the business you're going to build that makes an impact in the world. Consider, what do you need time for? What are those things? What are those responsibilities, those indulgences, those things that need your time? Consider what schedule is most aligned for you. Earlier this week, I moved you through that model calendar lesson all about setting up a calendar that truly resonates with you in a way that serves you and your business so that you can feel good every day when you step into the work you're doing. And so we need to factor that in from the get-go, not as a reaction to our business, not as a, not playing catch up when things, beautifully start taking off, but setting that intentionally from the beginning. I want you to think about what your responsibilities are. What are things that you need time for that just have to be a part of the deal? Like, do you need to take your kids to school? Do you need to pick them up? Do you need to run them to practices? Or, do you have little kids that, maybe you need to be present with at different times? These are things that are important. They're not something that we can just overlook, right? And I want you also to consider, as you think about your priorities, how much money do you need to be making, right? Like on a basic sort of expenses are covered way. And then I want you to think about how much money you want to be making. What's the number that speaks to you, that sings to you, that lights your heart up, that just makes you feel like, if I stepped into that, I would be living my best life. I would be being accurately rewarded and compensated for the value I am contributing to the world. And so the action step here, and perhaps you've already done a bit of this work if you've been a part of the master classes all week, is to map out your model calendar. Map out your week. I often do this, just with pen and paper, freehand, first time through, and then I'll often use like a Google Sheet or an Excel document, something like that, to map this out in more detail. But map out your model calendar, what you would ideally like your week to look like. And here's the key, guys. Put your priorities on there first. Put those responsibilities to yourself, self-care. You can really hear that, self-care. Like, yeah, for me, that means morning meditation. It means a bit of time for some yoga, just quiet time by myself. That stuff goes on first. Then those responsibilities, like having the morning, with your kids, so you can make them breakfast and get their lunches together for school and that sort of thing. Or maybe you want to be able to cook dinner every night for your family, or most nights. Nobody wants to cook every night. What am I saying? Those types of things. Get those on the calendar first. And then with the available space that is left, choose the hours that would feel best to work. So I made this distinction in the model calendar lesson earlier this week, but it's worth saying again. All the remaining time doesn't become work time. Once you fill in your responsibilities, once you fill in your self-care, all that stuff, all the remaining time does not become work time. The hours that feel best for you, that are in alignment with your best working hours, like if you're a morning person or a night person, a handful of those hours become your work hours. And then you can leave some space, some breathing room in your calendar as well. So the action step here for your priorities is to map out your model calendar. Okay, before we go to the next slide, how's everybody doing? Let's see. If you have any, don't forget, any questions that you have, pop them into the chat box and we will be doing Q&A at the end. So hope everyone's doing well. If you've got any questions, post them in there and we'll keep rolling through this. All right, on to number 3. Great. Zoe says, great. Loving this. Amazing. Okay, good. Doing great. Awesome. All right. I didn't want you guys to feel overwhelmed. I know this is a lot of information. Okay, so number 3 is people. Next, you need to define your people. Who do you love working with? Who needs you and your work and your message? Who resonates with your story? So often we try in the early phases of our business, often sort of unintentionally, but we find someone that we admire and then we try to become like us slash them, like a hybrid version because they seem to have things figured out. Their business is really killing it. And so we're going to just like absorb some of that and repackage it and put a little bit of our flavor on it, but it's not truly 100% us. The more I authentically, vulnerably show up, the better my business gets. The more responsive my community is, the more receptive, the more accepting, the more excited, all of those good things. And the more I just got to show up as myself. And the same goes for you ladies. And so if you're thinking like, okay, I get that, but how do I do it? Something that I've found particularly useful is sharing more of what I've gone through and the lessons I've learned. So if you're in the thick of something right now, like maybe press pause on that guy, but I have no doubt that there are some life lessons, some trials and tribulations that you have gone through in the past that you now in retrospect have gleaned wisdom from. Share those nuggets, share those stories. Those are the things that are going to endear you to your people and deepen your relationship. Something that's really helpful to think about is who were you 3 years ago? And that's an arbitrary number. It could be you 1 year ago, you could be you 10 years ago. But who were you before you woke up to what you're doing now, to the work you're offering now, or the work you want to be offering? Help her. What does she need to hear? What support could she use? What are the struggles and the pain points that she's dealing with? And how can you create a beautiful and compassionate solution for her? And then it becomes really easy because you're constantly evolving. And so you can continually look back to who you were like 2, 3 years ago and keep helping her. Keep helping her. Imagine that you could go back in time and give her a piece of advice, a piece of wisdom, a resource, a package, a service that could transform her, that could expedite her expansion. Be that person for your people. You don't have to be the ultimate expert. You don't have to have everything figured out. You just need to be 1 or 2 steps ahead and reach your hand back to her and say, come on, I got you. That's what they need. Nobody really likes hanging out with like a know-it-all expert. Like maybe you'd read their book, maybe you'd attend like a class with them or something, but they don't want to hang out with them. Like you don't want to go to dinner with them. You don't want to be in, like a social setting necessarily. You'd probably feel intimidated. You'd feel too far removed. So don't worry about being that expert for your people. Be a leader. And a leader doesn't have to be very far in front. It can just be 1 or 2 steps ahead. So, your action step here, as you think about the people you are meant to serve, is to write a detailed paragraph describing your ideal person. So, I know probably most of you have done some kind of ideal client avatar worksheet or webinar or something in the past. Something I've come to realize is that my woman is constantly evolving because I'm constantly evolving. And so let this opportunity be a chance to explore who she is now because she might have grown up a little bit. So take some time, either later today or this weekend. There's no rush on any of this. Success Made Simple is also success on your time frame, on your terms, so there's no rush. Write a detailed paragraph about who she is. You could even give her a name. You could describe what she looks like, the kind of clothes she wears, like make her, you could even find an image online if it's helpful for you to have a visual, like this is her, this is, Sarah, my ideal person. And describe her, like what she's going through. And like I said, it might be helpful to describe you 3 years ago. Awesome. It seems like this is landing for you guys. So Luminous Life, you said, I've been trying to connect with this for the longest time, connect with her ideal client, figuring that out. Breakthrough question for me. Who were you 3 years ago? Because I've totally changed my life. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I'm so glad you had a breakthrough there. Yes, this is a really cool question to ask. And even if you feel like you are rock solid on who your person is, asking yourself that question of who was I 3 years ago and seeing if there's some little nuances or even just some stories that you can pull out of that that would resonate with your ideal client could be really, really powerful. Okay, guys, we are rocking and rolling here. On to number 4. The fourth piece of the Success Made Simple framework is packages. So at this point, now that you have defined your purpose and felt your purpose on a really deep level, you've figured out what your priorities are, you've mapped out your ideal schedule, you've thought about your people and who you want to serve. Now it's time to create your signature package. And for online service-based businesses, or even if you're offline for service-based businesses, this should be generally, if you're looking to scale quickly and easily to 6 figures, this should be a high touch, high ticket offer. So let me say that again. The easiest, simplest way to start your business, to start your work and scale with ease to 6 figures is to develop a signature package that is high touch and high ticket. So by high touch, I mean lots of access to you. So for example, one-on-one coaching. High ticket means it's a premium price point. And there is no range really for what I mean by premium, but premium means that in the honoring of the hours you want to work and honoring the number of people you want to work with, the numbers line up. And we'll dive into that more in the final step, but that just gives you a taste. So when you're thinking about what the signature package is, you want to clearly know what problem does it solve. And often we so beautifully want to give so much that we overcomplicate these signature packages or our signature package. We layer so much stuff in, like I'm going to solve this problem and that problem and that problem. And we put together this offer that then confuses our people because they're dealing with something very acute and they want a clear solution for it. So think about what is that clear solution, simple solution that you can offer. Consider what are the benefits of the package? What is the structure? What are the features? What is the price? All of these things you want to be able to have them down and know them as if they are your address or your phone number, something that you can just know in your being without any hesitation. Because when you start moving into conversations with people, it's can feel you can feel, right, that like heat rising in your cheeks, getting all flushed when you aren't quite sure what your offer is. I feel super uncomfortable. So I would love for you guys, as you're sitting with this, to write up an outline for your signature package with the price. And we'll dive into on the next slide how you can kind of figure out what that pricing needs to be for you specifically. This isn't, what Cailen has done, and so now you need to do it. This is about how to figure out the pricing that makes sense for you. So also, it deserves to be said here, your signature package will evolve and change. So if you're in the perfection paralysis place right now, thinking, I need to have this perfect package before I put it out there to my community or to any one person, please, please know that you have total permission to revise and update and transform this package as you go. But land on something and err on the side of simple, addressing one acute need of your ideal client. Okay. So let's move on to the plan. Okay, so step 5 is to create your plan. And the plan, just like we said about the packages, the package needs to focus on one specific thing, but the plan needs to focus on one specific thing, and that is selling your signature package. So the package is focused, and then the plan is focused on the package. Does that all make sense to you guys? I want you to consider, how will you promote it? How can you be more visible? And this doesn't mean like you have to, if you're terrified, right, of being visible, this doesn't mean you have to start showing up everywhere and hopping on video and all that stuff. But this means you have to start telling people about it. You can't maybe put the package on your website and then sit back and think, oh my gosh, like no one's purchasing, no one's booking a call with me. You've got to show up where your people are. You've got to put it in front of them. You've got to be more visible. I want you to consider what action steps you can take to move this forward. And I'm going to give you some ideas right now in a moment. But first, I want to give you a sense of how these pieces come together. So earlier in this process, right, you figured out your priorities and you developed your schedule and you saw the hours that you have available, right? You've got 5, 10, 15, 20, however many hours a week to work on your business. And a portion of those hours can then go towards client work. If you've got 5 hours a week to work, you cannot put all 5 of those hours into serving clients because you're going to have no time or space to develop anything new. So maybe 3 of those hours every week, or maybe you switch to an AB week schedule. So one week, all 5 hours are for clients. The next week, all 5 hours are open for development. But we then look at, what hours do I have available? Okay, so I've got, let's make it simple, 5 hours a week for clients. During those 5 hours, I can work comfortably with 4 clients. Okay, so that means 4 clients at a time. That's how many you can serve. Once you figure out what your package is and how many weeks long it is or months long and the price point, then you have to see if all of this is adding up to what you want your income goal to be. So if you've got 4 people paying you, let's just make the math simple, 4 people paying you $1,000, that's $4,000. And let's say it's a month-long package. So every month, and this is not really realistic, but every month you're hoping to get 4 new clients. And so every month you'd be making $4,000. And so if that's your goal, to make $4,000 a month, that's amazing. If your goal is to make $10,000 a month, something's got to switch. Something's got to give, right? Like maybe we need to increase the price of the package. Maybe we need to restructure it so we can serve possibly more people. There's some nuances there, but there's a checks and balances that comes into play with the Success Made Simple framework, where it will find its own level as you play with it, as you think about, okay, I have this many hours a week to work. Okay, cool. From those hours, I have this many hours for clients. Okay, cool. So that means I can work with this many clients at a time. Amazing. Okay, with my signature package, priced at this, working with that many clients, it means I'm making this much a month, or this much a quarter, or this much in the year, if that program continually stays filled. So you can see how you can design this to create whatever income you desire. And if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm brand new in business and I would love to be making $5,000 a month, but I only have time to work with 2 clients and that feels too much, please take a deep breath and step into it. I didn't charge what I'm charging now when I started. I charged a tiny fraction of it. And I got some traction. I had some clients, and I raised my prices quickly and unapologetically as I grew as a coach, as my clients were getting better results, as my packages changed and were better structured in a way that I knew would serve my clients better. All of those pieces can shift and change. And so this isn't about finding a rigid framework, but rather a flexible framework that supports you where you're at right now and can grow and shift with you as you develop. Now, the action step here is, because I know, a lot of you, if you're new in business and maybe you're freaking out because you don't have much of an email list, or you don't have a community of people, of warm leads, that's totally fine, guys. I want you to just think of 10 people that you know who could be a good fit for your signature package. I call this my wish list, and I do it anytime I'm filling any program. I create a wish list, and I write down the names of actual human beings that would be a good fit for whatever that offer is. And then take a deep breath. I reach out to them. The thing is that whether or not those 10 people actually become clients doesn't matter. What matters is that you are reminding yourself that there are human beings that you know right now who could benefit. And so if there are 10, there are 100. If there are 100, there are 1,000. Know that they are out there. And the more you put yourself out there, little by little, the more momentum, the more energy will be generated. And people will start noticing what you're doing. People will start seeing what you're doing. People will start showing up to you. But it's your job to get the ball rolling. And if you'd go back, if you're feeling like, oh my God, this is freaking me out now, thinking about talking to other humans about this, if you go back to your purpose, the first step of the Success Made Simple framework, dig deep into that and reach out to those people on your wish list from that place, from a place of genuine connection, heartfelt compassion, without any agenda, right? It doesn't have to be a sales email that you send them. It could be a, hey, how you doing? Can we get coffee? And then just talk about your work and how much you love it. And if they've got questions, they've got questions. If they're not interested, they're not interested. This is just about making human connections. So, action step, create that wish list for yourself. And then extra credit for those of you overachievers, probably all of you, right? Reach out to everyone on that list. And I would recommend you reach out to them within like the next 5 days. Make that list, reach out. Pull the Band-Aid off. You've got this. All right. How's everybody feeling? Can you put in the chat box, like, if you're feeling good, feeling overwhelmed, happy, let me know. Okay. I see some questions are coming in. That's great. Keep the questions coming. I will get to all of them I'll get to all of them later in the call. Okay. All right. Super excited. Amazing. I feel motivated. Great. Yay. Doing good. All makes sense. Buzzing. Ooh, that's a good feeling, right? When you're just like vibrating with energy. Okay, good. I'm glad you're all doing good. Alrighty. Feeling really focused and inspired to start working. Ah, great feeling. Awesome. Okay, so let's start moving into, I know I promised you guys that there's some awesome things for you guys attending live now. So let's dive into some of that for you. Okay. So where to from here? So I know, as I've been saying, like this is a lot of information that just came at you, and I know you guys are buzzing and feeling really good, but it's also a lot to think about, like this process to set yourself up for success on your terms. But I really want to assure you that within this proven framework lies everything you need to create an abundant business working part-time hours. It's what I have done. And I also do not want to leave you to figure it out all on your own if you would like more support. So the best way I know to simplify success and make your vision for your business a reality is to get the support you need. We as women, so often, I'm so guilty of this at times, think we can just, we'll do it. Like, I'll handle it. I've got it covered. I'll, you know, tie together all the loose ends. And it's exhausting. But it can feel like such a breath of fresh air, such a relief when we allow ourselves to be supported, because it can get us there smoother, faster, easier. I shared with you guys as much as I possibly could during our time together today about the Success Made Simple framework, but I would love, love, love to dive deeper into this with you and flesh out all the nuances and really make sure you grasp it and implement it effectively. So with that in mind, I've decided to do a live series of trainings that will take you in depth into each one of these Success Made Simple elements that I just introduced you to. That way, you can develop your personalized plan for success with my ongoing guidance and coaching. So these trainings are going to be held live, just like we're doing now, and they'll probably be held on Zoom instead so that I can actually pull you guys on for those of you that want live coaching around any of these areas. And all of these trainings are going to be held inside my Success Made Simple Academy. So you'll not only get the live trainings that I'm talking about and the coaching from me, but also a community of like-minded ladies to up level with. And so if you have been loving the energy of this week as I have, and just really loving coming together as a group, this could be a really cool place for you to land. So if you're possibly thinking like, oh, I don't need another online course, I just want to pause right there and let you know that Success Made Simple Academy isn't another pricey program that will just sit on the shelf collecting dust. It's a super, super affordable monthly membership that gets you unprecedented access to me on a regular basis, delivers you both live and on-demand trainings like the one you're having today to help you really up-level your business, up-level your mindset, increase your bank account, and welcomes you also into a thriving sisterhood of women who want to see you succeed and support you in that process. So I want to give you just some details about what is included inside Success Made Simple Academy if this is feeling like it might be a good fit for you. So every month inside Success Made Simple Academy, you will have 2 live group coaching calls with me. One call is a live lesson where I talk you through that month's lesson. And the second call is a live Q&A call. So women can take the hot seat if they want and receive live coaching from me. There's also a library, 12 months worth of on-demand trainings that you gain access to. Every month you get a workbook. It's beautifully designed and maps out our lesson week by week. You also get a monthly meditation, monthly success mantras. We have a private member portal where everything is housed. It's really beautifully designed and laid out, super easy to navigate. And we also have a private Facebook group where we all hang out together and have lots of fun conversations and do lots of business related things, but then also just a lot of just up leveling personally, connecting with one another, developing real relationships, and having a really good time. And a super special bonus when you enroll now is that you get 5 weeks of live coaching with me to go in depth into the Success Made Simple framework that we touched on today. So every single week during those 5 weeks, I'm going to dive into one of these essential elements of the framework so that nothing at all is missing for you. Also, since these trainings will be held live, there will be an opportunity for you to jump on the hot seat and receive live coaching from me to ensure that all your questions are answered and the plan you're creating is perfect for you and your business. So, the total value of this special package that I put together for you guys today is $5,929. But I've put together a special offer for you that I hope will feel really good and aligned. So let me reveal that to you now. So Success Made Simple Academy is usually $97 a month, but I wanted to do something really just special for you guys today. I have had such an amazing week with all of you inside the 3-day workweek masterclasses, and I wanted to offer you something that hopefully would be just feel like a really simple and aligned decision. And so I am taking 50% off the lifetime of your tuition if you enroll in Success Made Simple Academy by March 14th. The price will never increase, so you will lock in that monthly rate forever. You're grandfathered in, it will never go up. And so that means you get everything I just mentioned, the 2 live group coaching calls, the library of on-demand trainings, the monthly workbook, the monthly meditations and mantras, the private member portal, and the private Facebook group, plus that special bonus of 5 weeks of live coaching with me, all for just $48.50 a month. There are no contracts. There's no confusion. I don't want this to be something that, like, if for whatever reason at some point it's not serving you any longer, that you feel locked into, and you can cancel at any time. And so Raven's my awesome assistant. She's been monitoring the chat box. Raven, if you can please put the link to join Success Made Simple Academy in the chat box, that would be awesome. And also there is a button below this video where you can enroll. And so Raven, if you can just make sure that button is enabled for them too, that would be amazing. And so this is a really unique opportunity, guys, for us to continue on this journey together. If you've been loving the master classes, if you've been loving the energy that we've cultivated this last week and are like, how do I keep this going? How do I keep this momentum going? Success Made Simple Academy is exactly where you need to land. We've got an amazing group of women inside the academy, and you would be in such great company. And I would love to get to know you and your business better and provide you with the support that would really serve you as you grow your business. Okay, so I want to share now some case studies. Well, not case studies, really. I want to share some testimonials from some of the ladies inside Success Made Simple Academy. So Kathy says, I've put together all the essentials of my coaching business. On Saturday, I will begin the process of putting together my first coaching program. So when Kathy joined us, she didn't have any coaching business at the time. She had just finished her life coaching certification, and with the help of and the support of the Success Made Simple Academy, she put together her coaching business. And then from there went on to launch her business. She got 60 leads for her business and filled her coaching program. It was really remarkable. Elizabeth says that she is working on daily posts on creativity. It's going well. She's doubled her followers in the last 30 days, and the comments and engagement are good. Patty was just having a great time. She said, thank you, Cailen, for having such a wonderful members group. I've never felt so comfortable and willing to just be open, raw, and let the universe take the lead. Charlotte's total rock star said, I have come so far since I joined this group just a few months ago. I've started my online business, did all the paperwork, and set up the bank account, started working with a business coach and a mastermind of people I met when I was in Australia, taken professional photos, worked on a website, and upped my Instagram game. I will be launching my podcast, and I am letting go of perfection and launching my one-on-one empowerment coaching. So it just was rocket fuel for her. Success Made Simple Academy really springboarded her to the next level. And Julia was super excited about setting some new income goals. She said, I've decided my top priority is to get to 10K of income in a month. I did the exercises twice, and she landed on a plan that felt really, really good for her to scale up to that new revenue level. So now I want to just share with you a little bit more about who Success Made Simple Academy is a great fit for. So it's a great fit for entrepreneurs who want a clear plan for success on their terms so that they can become an abundant business owner. It's a great fit for moms who want to work from home and need to know what to focus on in order to have more time and income for their families. And it's also a really good fit for, we have lots of ladies who are still 9-to-5 employees who want to prioritize their limited hours to build up a successful side hustle so they can escape the 9-to-5. So if you fall into any one of those categories, please know that you are in good company inside Success Made Simple Academy. The content and the structure and the support that is available is a great fit for any of these ladies. And just for those attending live right now, I have some super special on the call bonuses. You get lifetime access to all of the 3-day workweek masterclasses. I know so many of you have been asking about regaining access to the masterclasses, and so we decided to bundle them up and put them together for you inside Success Made Simple Academy. So when you enroll now for just $48.50, you not only get monthly business coaching and success strategies, but you'll also regain access to all 9, I believe, yes, 9 of the master classes. So if you love the master classes, if you'd love to continue working with those and also receive a little extra bonus of that coaching within the academy, this is for you, ladies. So just for those of you attending live right now, if you enroll now, you will regain access to all of the master classes. And you will also get access to my Money Clarity program, which will help you clear all of your money blocks and set yourself up for making more money than ever before in your business. And you'll also get access to my Model Calendar program, which walks you step by step through the process of setting up a model calendar and gives you lots of templates and guidelines for doing that. So if you loved the model calendar lesson that I taught earlier this week about scheduling your success, this bonus will really, really serve you. And like I said, all of the features of Success Made Simple Academy are, and these bonuses are included for the monthly tuition price of just $48.50. And I also want to offer you my personal guarantee. So I have seen it happen time and again that the Success Made Simple framework works 100% of the time for 100% of the people who follow 100% of the process and above and beyond that. So you can feel totally at ease. There is a 10-day money back guarantee when you join Success Made Simple Academy. So if you're on the fence, if you're wondering if it's a good fit for you or not, just know that you can give it a test run for up to 10 days. And if it's not the right fit for you at this time, just give us a heads up, you get your money back. So there is no risk whatsoever when you enroll now. So if you're thinking like, oh, this is sounding really good, but I'm not sure, I've never joined a membership before, or whatever thoughts or feelings are coming up, just know that we've got your back. We don't want to make this complicated or difficult for you. We have no contracts. There's no minimum amount of months you have to be a participant. We don't try to make anything confusing, and you can cancel at any time. So when you feel like your time inside the academy has run its course, you just give us a heads up and we cancel your membership. No questions asked, no worries there. So if you are thinking that this could be a good fit for you, I really recommend that you just take the leap, trust your gut, and we would love to support you inside the academy. And one last little perk, just to sweeten the deal even more, everyone who enrolls during this live training before it concludes will also be entered for a chance to win one-on-one private coaching with me, which is a $500 value. So if you enroll during this live training, you'll not only get all the bonuses, including access to all of the 3-day workweek masterclasses, but you'll also be entered for a chance to win a private one-on-one session with me so that we can dive into your business and I can help you create a really good, feel good plan of inspired action so you can move forward with momentum and clarity and just love the process of building your business. And so that is available only to people who are attending live right now during this live call. And so when you enroll, then you will be entered for a chance to win private coaching with me. I would totally love to spend that time with you. So just as a reminder, every single month, you get 2 live coaching calls with me. You get a library of on-demand trainings inside the academy. You get a monthly workbook, a monthly meditation and success mantras. You get access to our private member portal as well as our private Facebook group. And you get lots of special bonuses. You get 5 weeks of live coaching with me to go in depth into each and every one of these Success Made Simple elements. You also get lifetime access to all of the 3-day workweek masterclasses, to my money clarity program, and to my model calendar program. And you will be entered for a chance to win one-on-one coaching with me. Altogether, the special package I put together for you guys today is worth $7,270 if added up individually. But when you join now, it is yours for just $48.50 a month. And like I said, there's no contracts, there's no minimum enrollment time. You can join now, try it out, 10-day money back guarantee, all for $48.50 a month. Enrollment is typically $97 a month, and the price will be going back up. This special enrollment period is until March 14th for the price being half off, but for the special bonuses, like the 3-day workweek masterclasses and being entered to win one-on-one coaching, you have to enroll now during the live call. I love honoring ladies who take initiative, women who take action. They get such great results. I just love working with them. And so I really want to honor you, honor your work this week in the 3-day workweek masterclasses, honor you for being here now live, making the time to be on this call with me. And so for those of you who are live and ready to enroll, when you do, you will get those special bonuses and be entered for a chance to win one-on-one coaching with me. So I am going to start the countdown clock for the Q&A, and I'll get over to your questions so that we can get anything that came up for you during the presentation or any questions you have about Success Made Simple Academy can be answered. Okay, let's see. I'm going to head back to the chat box. Awesome. Oh, amazing. Luminous Life said, enrollment complete. So excited. So cool. Awesome. Yeah, the link is in the chat box, or if you click the button that says check out Success Made Simple Academy, the page is now live so that you can read through that as well. Amazing. All right, I'm going to scroll back up and see where the questions were. Let's see. All right. Okay, someone was asking, how does this apply if you have a product-based business? I would love some more details if you don't mind sharing about what your product-based business is. I'd be able to answer your question a lot more specifically if you can share that. All right. I'm going to see if there's any other questions. And of course, you guys, like if you have questions, please just pop them in the chat box. I'm trying to get around to everybody. Zoe asked, did you bounce your changes off of anyone before launching your adjusted packages? Great question, Zoe. I think it's always really helpful to have a sounding board, but I would also recommend that you pick and choose them very carefully. Everyone has opinion about everything, and so protect yourself and really selectively choose your confidants. Inside the 3-Day Workweek Facebook group, I remember we interacted in there. That's a great safe space to maybe share a link to the package that you're designing and get our feedback. Or if you decide to move forward and join Success Made Simple Academy, perfect space to receive feedback about your packages or any adjustments that you're making. Posting it out there in Facebook in general, or like asking your girlfriend who doesn't really get online business, probably wouldn't be the best route. But I think it's always really helpful to get other people's ideas, because sometimes there's a way to tweak something or adjust something that will just make it so much more aligned or simplify the process. So yes, I think it's a great idea to bounce your ideas off of your kind of specific hand selected group of confidants. Someone asked, how much coaching time goes into providing a package, hours per client? Well, it really depends on what kind of coaching you're offering, what your clients need, what the package is delivering. But just to give you a really general sense from my personal experience, my coaching packages tend to be 3 or 4 months in length, and they usually range between 6 and maybe 8. I did do 10 sessions one time. That felt a little long. 6 and 8 sessions are usually how I structure them. And I coach on a bi-weekly basis. So that means I, have all my clients on my A week of my schedule, and then we skip a week and then come back to it. So for me, the coaching package is usually 3 to 4 months, 6 to 8 sessions. We're meeting every other week. Above and beyond that, my clients have email access to me. I might give them, some special perks or programs, things like that. And then there's obviously, besides the actual coaching time when I'm with my clients, there's the prep time before the calls, there's the post time, kind of integrating the calls and getting if I promise them any resources or feedback, that sort of thing. So it's not just your hours with your clients, and it's not just, if you have 6 sessions and they're each an hour long, it's not 6 hours of work. It might be, 3, 4, 5 times that, depending on what kind of support you're providing above and beyond just those coaching calls and how much work you're putting into it. So it's a really personal journey depending on what kind of coaching you do, what your clients need. But that's the format that has worked well for me and that works well for my clients. Okay, let's see. Yay, Claire just joined. Awesome. So excited to have you join us, Claire. All right, I'm still scrolling up through the questions. If you have any additional questions, post them. Or if you're joining us inside Success Made Simple Academy, post that too. That would be amazing. Okay, I think Zoe had another question that was up here. She said, how did you get to your pricing? But then she realized I was covering that in the plan, on the plan side. So just as a review, I got to my pricing by finding the level or the balance in the framework of the available time that I had to work with clients, the number of clients that I was willing to work with in that available time, and then a price point that made sense for that. So this ultimately, right, if you're want to scale to a 6-figure business, maybe if you're brand new, it's not going to be in alignment, but you could get it to the place where you're making a healthy full-time income to replace your 9 to 5. And then once you let your 9 to 5 go, then you've got a lot more hours to work with clients. So it frees you up. So stepping into it is really great. Let's see if there's any other questions that are up here. Okay. I don't think I see any more questions at the top of the call, but I'm going to keep scrolling just in case. Oh, and then someone was asking about the replay. Yes, there will be a replay, but those the special bonuses for you live, you ladies live, like the 3-day workweek masterclass access, and the chance to win one-on-one coaching, that is only available right now during the live call. Okay, I think that's all the questions from the top of the call. Okay, so the question that was here about how do you work this with a product-based business. Oh, Zoe enrolled. Yay, Zoe, welcome. Okay, the question about how do you work this system with product-based business? And she's thinking about developing tools for financial clarity like worksheets and workbooks. Very cool. That is so needed and so necessary. I love that idea. So here's what I have to say about that. I completely love the idea of creating small bite offers. I think it's super, super helpful to your community to give them something small that gives them a taste of what it's like to work with you. That said, I think it's a really challenging way to start a business because in order for you to make an abundant income, let's say you're selling your workbooks even for $100. In order for you to make, let's say, $50,000 that year, you'd have to sell 500 workbooks. Where if you were selling a high-end coaching program and your initial goal was to make $50,000 to replace maybe your 9 to 5 income, and you're selling, let's say, a $5,000 coaching program, like you're a really like top-notch coach, you only need to sell 10 of them. And I know not all of you might not be at the place where you're ready to charge 5,000, but if you charge 2,500, then you only need to sell 20, whereas you would have needed to sell 100 workbooks. So or 500 workbooks rather. I really encourage you to consider if there's a way. Oh, we have another sign up. Awesome. Kat, I don't know if that's your name or just like an abbreviation for your name, but welcome, Kat. So I would really encourage you to think about with these worksheets, with these workbooks for financial clarity that you're developing, is there a service that you could package with it to make it a high ticket, high touch offer? Because when you have high ticket, high touch, that's when you can charge those premium prices. And that's when working with a handful of clients, like 5, 10, 15 clients, can make you the money you need to make to replace full-time income or to create abundant full-time income from scratch. So I would really recommend that you check that out. For example, like if you could give some coaching that accompany the worksheets and you can walk people through them step by step or walk through people through the workbook step by step, that could be really, really useful. Or if you could do some kind of done for you service where you actually, if you like getting into their books, looking at the bookkeeping, kind of streamlining things, giving them some ideas for where to plug holes and, stop losing money and just restructure things, that could be really, really useful. And that could easily get you to the place where you're making thousands of dollars a month instead of hundreds of dollars a month selling just worksheets and workbooks. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Happy to answer them. We've got, about 9 or so minutes left for the Q&A. And, I know we've been rolling for a while now. I thank all of you for being here and hanging in for this call. Okay, we've got another question, I think, here. I've already created online courses, but I'm wondering if I should put the marketing of these on hold and create a coaching program instead. I've been an embellishment designer for over 7 years for the fashion industry. Oh, cool. And want to teach and mentor the skills I've acquired. Cool. Okay. I've already created online courses. How are they doing? How are the online courses doing? And she's also wondering what's the best method for marketing a coaching program. So if it's feeling they're not doing very good, okay. So first and foremost, I never want anyone to think that the only way to be successful is to do exactly what I have done. But I also believe that we can learn from examples, and I want to assure you and remind you that all of the ladies, if you've been with me all week for the 3-day workweek masterclasses, all of them started their business with high touch, high ticket offers. All of them started with sort of a one-on-one approach to build their foundation, and then they scaled from there into products, programs, and other offers. And so from just kind of a very macro level here, if I was going to go in and assess your business, I would suggest, yes, that you consider putting together a coaching program that essentially just you're hand holding someone, probably walking through the course content you've already created. So the coaching program doesn't have to be made from scratch. It would just be you hand holding someone through that program. You already have the content there. And so instead of charging, I'm not sure how much you're charging for your program, but let's say you're charging $1,000 for your program. You could now charge $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 because it's now a coaching experience and they're having your valuable time and attention to ensure that they get the results that they're desiring. And so, yes, I would definitely think about leveraging 99, 99 pounds. Okay. So, or euros. What number is saying there? I can't see the little icons, too small. All right. Yes. So I would definitely think that shifting this to a higher ticket offer would be amazing. Yeah, 99 pounds. Okay. I put it on Udemy and people are expecting to pay a discount. Yes. All right. So what we need to do is we need to just restructure this as a high ticket offer for you. And so I would love for you to use the exact content that you've put in your 99-pound course and then leverage that into a coaching program and start with a number that feels good for you. Since it's 99, like maybe making 500 would feel amazing. And you're like, yeah, I'll have a handful of sessions with them. That would feel good. This isn't about necessarily jacking up the price to something so high that it feels uncomfortable, but stepping into the higher end offers. So I think that would make perfect sense for you. And you sell one of these coaching programs and it's the same as if you had sold 5, 10, 15 of your courses. So yes, I think this is a great route for you. I'm super excited to hear how that plays out. All right. Any other questions, or if anyone else is joining, please post that you've joined us so I can give you a little shout out. I'd love to do that too. Brilliant. Awesome. Yes, I would love to see you just use what you've created and just have it make you more money. That would be so wonderful, because I have no doubt that 7 years of experience, right? You said 7 years of experience. Oh, yay. If you've signed up, I'm not sure what your name is because it just says anonymous, but I am so glad you've joined us. You are our fashion lady here, right? Carol signed up. Yay, Carol. I'm so glad you've joined us. Oh, ladies, we are going to have such a blast inside Success Made Simple Academy. So, so is it Borja or Borja? Cool name either way. I'm sorry if I'm totally butchering it. People get my name wrong all the time. Actually, like not to like waste our time here at the very end, but at both my high school and my college graduations, I was called by the wrong name. I was called Caitlin at my high school graduation, and I was called Colleen at my college graduation. And I was magna cum laude. I was like, you should know my name. Yeah. Borgia. Okay, great. Thank you for joining us, Borgia. I am super, super excited to dive in with you ladies. As you join, just so you have a heads up, you are going to get an email from me personally, giving you some tidbits about how to get started in Success Made Simple Academy. You're also going to get an email from Teachable, which is where our member portal is housed. So there's going to be 2 emails coming your way. And what I would love for you to do is once you kind of get in, check out the member area, make sure you join our private Facebook group because there is so much fun stuff happening in there all the time. And I would totally love to hang out with you and get to know you better, see your little face avatar, all that good stuff. Because right now, in the chat box, I just see names or not even. So I would love to get to know you better. So as you join, that's what you can expect. Check your inbox. If for whatever reason after you sign up, you're not seeing the emails, just give us a heads up at hello@cailenascher.com. We'll get everything squared away for you. So don't worry there. And yeah, all right. So any final questions here? As we're at about 2 minutes here, so I'm gonna drop the screen share and just come back on camera for this last moment. Hi. I wish I could see you guys too, but when we have our calls inside Success Made Simple Academy, we're on Zoom, so we can see each other's faces, which is always really nice because I love seeing you ladies, and we are an intimate group. Um, Currently, there's I think 52 members. That's prior to this enrollment, and so we're having a new cohort join us. But I know my members. I know my women. I know your names. Often I know your kiddos' names. I know your businesses. And so when you post and ask questions, I really can give you feedback for you and for your business in a way that makes sense and hopefully simplifies the process. It's my mission as a coach, as a business owner, to create the most streamlined, simple frameworks for you guys. And that's what we dive into every single month inside Success Made Simple Academy. We have a community chosen topic that you guys pick, and then I create a lesson around it in a way that I hope is really straightforward and easy for you. In general, you need about an hour's worth of time a week to move through the content. I try to live my brand as much as possible and keep it as simple and straightforward. So never give you homework for homework's sake. I only give you the actionable stuff that is actually moving you and your business forward. And so I hope that you join us. I hope that you join. I mean, there was a lot of ladies. Yay, another lady enrolled. It's an anonymous name, but I am super, super excited. Oh, this has been such a pleasure. Really, ladies, honestly. Like, here we are, International Women's Day, coming together from all around the globe, supporting one another. And I am super excited to continue, hopefully, on this journey with you, to get to know you inside Success Made Simple Academy, and to be in this together, because it just feels good to be with like-minded ladies who really get it, who get what it's like to build an online business. Not everyone is built for this. We are a rare bunch. And it's hard when you're showing up in a world that thinks 9 to 5, signing 50 years of your life away to someday retire is the one and only way to be successful. You are here taking a stand for what you want, for what you deserve. And I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And it has been such a joy and a pleasure to host this entire week of masterclasses for you. And it's been a particular thrill hosting this live class for you today. Such fun for me. And Yeah, you guys let me live my dream. So thank you. I really appreciate that. Our timer just went out, just expired. And so I'll wrap it here. We've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. You guys are champs. Thank you for hanging in. And the replay of this masterclass will be available all weekend. So if there's something you want to look back on or listen to or just refresh yourself with some of the content, know that that's available. We'll wrap it now. So I am super excited for all the ladies who joined live. Yay! Thank you. Thank you. I'm super thrilled. I've said super like so many times. I need to figure out a new word. Honestly, words are sort of escaping me right now. You're so welcome. We're getting lots of thank yous in the chat box. Every single one of you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And I love you guys. I love you so much. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a great weekend.